Start recording, start streaming. Uh-oh, I lost Facebook. There it is. I do everything right. Let's see. Yes, go live. And I just have to pull it up on my page so I can share it to my personal. And we will get going on show 152, Evan.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
Nope.
Hey, I see us.
I'm getting there.
Give us a minute, folks. We're sorry. We used to play a song, man, but then they started cutting our... We started dropping off and everything, so...
Mm-hmm. Can't have any copyrighted stuff.
And none of it was, but I think it, you know, if you start off with music, I guess they're going to think you're... We will get going. There we are. All right. Show 152. Happy Monday, y'all. A little warmer in the Midwest than it has been.
Today.
Yeah, it was freaking beautiful.
It almost hit 60 here.
I'm not sure what I got. I know we had the doors open to the shop towards the end of the day, so... I know this dog's sitting there. If you hear clicking, don't adjust your sound or anything. There's a couple dogs chewing on some bones. Chili, how was your Monday?
It was all right. It was a nice day, but I kind of slept in as usual, and I didn't get out and do anything, and now it looks like we got about a little rain coming through. It hit almost 60 here today. That's pretty impressive for February. I opened the garage door for a little while just to warm it up just a little before I kick the heat on. Save money the best I can. Anyway, it was a nice day. Didn't do much.
I worked. Actually, I did a lot of training today, so... Watch some videos and blah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. But I'm, getting closer to that other brand of car and having 2 certifications under my belt, so.
Nice.
Yeah, you got to work for it. That's the only thing that sucks. It doesn't just get handed to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dude from that owns a car company don't just show up and, hey, you've been doing a good job. Here you are. I wish that'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. You got to work. Boo.
And it's so unfortunate that in life that most often hard work is not recognized.
Oh, no. No.
It's kind of a given. I used to work a lot for CAT, and I mean, CAT showing their appreciation is basically letting you keep work there. That's about as good as you get. They must think you're doing a good job because you're still working here.
Yeah.
That's about as good as you get. No one ever says, hey, great job on this or whatever. It's just, this is a given. You came here, you do your job, and you're obviously doing a good job because your badge worked today.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It's the way it is quite often.
Yeah, it is. And then you will have some companies that I've seen it were bad. I don't want to say. I guess it is a behavior where bad behavior is actually it actually gets some people somewhere.
Yeah, it is rewarded. Oftentimes, the people they don't know what to do with, they promote them up.
Yeah.
Or being at CAT, it used to be if somebody came from another plant, hey, this guy's transferring from Peoria, it usually means this guy's a dud and they're getting rid of him. Or if there was somebody who was a problem in Decatur, they were, let's move them into Peoria at this whatever position. They get moved up and they move to a different plant, but usually there's a reason.
Yeah.
It's sad. And the people who work hard, they get stuck in their jobs because they're so good they don't want to let them move up out of it to maybe a supervisor position. And like, this guy's too good, we need him where he's at,
Right.
because no one else can do what he does exactly.
Yeah, that I'm afraid I'm stuck in my position at the shop just because I'm kind of good looking guy and I'm man candy for the other guys to look at.
I could see that being a problem for you.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah, it's just different. Back at Cat, people used to say, don't do your job too well. Now your situation's a little different, but that's kind of sad sometimes. It's like I said, you do it too well, and they're going to keep you in that position because you're doing it really, really well.
yeah, yeah.
It's screwy. It's almost
You're
like you
damned
said,
if
bad
you.
behavior. Bad behavior is often rewarded.
Well, it kind of is.
But that's the working world.
It sure is. Evan, we could do. Actually, I wanted to start off with some weird and wacky news from around the world first.
All right.
Where was this one? Oh. Dateline China, Evan. Student burns inflatable girlfriend. Sparks fire after roommate returns early.
Burn the evidence down. I wasn't getting it on with the blow up doll. He threw in the fireplace. Is that what happened? He was getting romantic in front of the fireplace, and the roommate came home.
Let's dig into this story. A student who burned his inflatable doll in a panic after his roommate returned early sparked a fire on a university campus in China. The bizarre story has shocked mainland social media and led to the fire starter being ridiculed online.
Well, I bet. All he wanted was a romantic candlelight dinner. And some free time with his companion.
No. In a panic, the student tried to hide his actions by setting fire to the doll. You're not getting no DNA out of this doll.
Because it burned the evidence.
Jesus.
Throw it in the fireplace. Kapow.
So, there you go. I thought that one was funny. A woman banned from assistive AI app after teaching it to say ass.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it have learned it? If AI learns, it's going to learn all the cuss words, ain't it?
I figured it would already know him.
Oh, I thought this was a good one.
Artificial intelligence, my ass. You should know all the good cuss words.
Arlington police, Evan, are on the lookout for preteen robbers. Listen to this. Youngest suspect about 6.
Jeez.
This is in Virginia.
They don't know what they're doing.
They are searching for 6 young teens and a child as young as 5 years old in a connection to a robbery.
That's really extreme. I've seen where they've had kids like 12 and 13 breaking into car dealerships and taking off in cars, and that just blows me away.
According to the employee, 7 kids came in the store, grabbed merchandise, and tried to hide it and walk out of the store. So it's pretty much shoplifting.
Yeah.
It gets a little worse. 2 of the teens got away. Once an employee realized they were stealing, they tried to stop anyone else from leaving. The remaining 5 teens shoved the employee and left without paying.
I bet their parents sent them in there to go steal some eggs. knowing they wouldn't get arrested because they're underage. It won't be a felony or misdemeanor. You're too young. Now go get a couple dozen. Get in there and make mama
Jesus.
proud.
The employee proceeded to follow the young teens outside, and that's when they got a drink thrown at them. Damn.
Oh, they were armed.
Man. See, but something has to be done, because if not, these
Just
kids.
keeps happening.
Yeah. Well, not only that, one of these kids are going to get hurt bad, and they need to know that ain't cool to do.
You're correct. You're correct.
You know, you get some old store owner that pulls a shotgun and just shoots. You know, he might think he's just shooting a warning shot, but you got seven kids in there.
Yeah, they're tired of getting ripped off every day. The police does nothing, and I mean, we see it all over. These grocery stores and everything shut down in certain areas, and then they complain that there's no grocery stores or only high-priced, dollar marts, or not, gas stations where everything's high dollar, and then that happens. Everything disappears.
Let's see what you think about this story, Evan. Michigan judge orders Walmart shoplifters to wash cars in store parking lot.
Really?
I like it.
Yeah, but I don't want anybody touching my car but me, but yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, right. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't let him touch my truck either. But, I mean, for other people, I think that's amazing. I think maybe that's what we need to do, is start publicly shaming these people, more and more. And I hate to be that way, but something's got to change.
It's yeah, I guess it's a reflection of society these days, and also why retail is just completely drying up. One, you got Amazon competition. Two, you got people walking in, taking stuff right out your door, and corporate tells you not to do anything about it, and just let it go, file a police report. It's just, something's got to change.
Yeah.
This is not good.
No, not at all. And we got, I hate to say it, but, I get without getting political, I understand what they tried to do with the bail reform. They went about it all wrong. And I'm sorry. I think there should be, I don't want to get on how I think it needs fixed, but it's just letting these people out on a ticket. They're just racking up like multiple charges even before their first fucking court date. Like, look, I look at D-Towns. They got a Facebook page of the arrest. And it's like looking at the same photo album. And when you get to the end, you start all over again. And it's the same people.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like, come on, man. There needs to be some kind of clause. Okay, look, we're going to let you out on bail. But if you get arrested for anything else stupid, well, we're going to keep you until you go to court. You ain't getting out.
How would you feel being a cop arresting somebody for the 17th time? It's just like, this is a revolving door. This is a waste of time. This is solving nothing.
Well, and that's why, and the cops are damned if they do, damned if they don't. If you don't have cops in certain neighborhoods, people complain, oh, we don't have a police presence here. Then if you have too much of a police presence, then that becomes an issue with other people.
Right. Why am I being profiled? Why
Yeah.
is this cop asking questions? Why am I being detained? You You don't need to know my name. People want the police to police.
Yeah.
You
And
can't do both.
well, number one, the police are usually called after an incident. Not too many times does somebody call and say, hey, there's getting ready to be a shooting.
Right.
They get called after.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
So they're just there to do the detail work, the paperwork, pretty much.
But this shoplifting and shit, though, man, this shit, we can curb that. Look, I want to go into a store and be able to buy body wash for men without getting it unlocked from a fucking chain.
I think eventually every piece of item, when it gets cheap enough, will have a RFID tag, and it will just be like you can't get out the door with it. I think someday the leaving will be like a double-doored foyer. You go into it, and it calculates how much crap you got on there, and you're billed immediately, and then the other door opens, and you can leave. It's going to be interesting how we can continue with this. And the theft, a lot of places are getting rid of the automatic checkers.
Yeah.
But they're not buying enough checkers, and so that's backing up. But they're getting rid of the do-it-yourself checking. I mean, because the theft is so outrageous there, people learn how to, get around that.
Well, and I think, look, I stood up and I said some shit to a guy in Kroger's in Decatur one day. They already had a cart full of food, and I seen him grab these just packages of steaks and shoving them in his motherfucking, his sweatpants. And I was like, dude. He's like, mind your motherfucking business. And I was like, all right. I walked straight up to that motherfucking meat counter. I said, that dude right there has probably got $200 worth. I snitched like a motherfucker. You know why? And I'm going to tell you why. Because your dumbass is costing me more money.
Mm-hmm.
Your dumbass is the reason that there are only a few grocery stores left in Decatur.
Right.
So fuck you. I don't care who says, oh, that's snitching. Yep, I sure the fuck did, and I'd do it again.
I can't imagine the theft because the one in Decatur, where we lived, Fairview Plaza on the West End, they were saying, was it like $10,000 a week they were losing in meat theft? I'm like, how is this even possible that they could lose that much in theft?
Yeah. But it was...
Like, no wonder they closed their doors. What's a grocery store take in a day?
And
wow.
That was one of the best grocery stores in Decatur.
I liked it.
It was on that West End, and it's gone now.
Yeah, it was 5 minutes from our house. You could go to the grocery store during commercial. It was great, and it was a good store.
Well, hell, there before COVID, it was 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. And all the Milliken students right there, but yeah, it's sad to see.
And I do miss, I'm not going to lie, I missed the 24-hour shopping.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Somebody's got to bring that back. Mark, now everyone's stealing eggs. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. When I used to work third shift, I used to like to go to the grocery store 6 a.m. There's nobody around. My dad used to get off, he closed down the tavern, and on his way home stopped at the grocery store at 3 o'clock in the morning all the time. He loved it. There's nobody around to bother you. You go in, you're in and out. My dad knew all the stock kids and everything. He'd chat them up.
Evan, I know we are strong proponents of banning Valentine's Day. And here is a guy that, he's going to be part of our movement. A new dress, takeout, a Parisian themed celebration, all new details at from police that reveal how a Jefferson man went from seemingly doting husband to accused murderer on Valentine's Day.
Oh, my.
This man, 34, is charged with offing his wife, Deborah, while their children were asleep in the house on February 14th. I'm trying to get to his interview. Meyer detailed his concerns that his wife was having an affair with a coworker. Put a strain on their marriage. So for a Valentine's Day celebration, he bought her a dress and dinner, and he described a Bringing Paris to You themed event. Had kids draw the Eiffel Tower as decorations and shit like that. He later added that he gave her a card with a personal message, and the couple danced to their wedding song. He said later he suggested that Deb acted like she did not care. She left the house for 20 minutes to take a phone call. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
He said when she came back, he started going through text messages on her smartwatch and demanded her cell phone, and she refused. A physical fight incurred. Ah, dang it. So, yeah, that didn't end up good.
Not on Valentine's Day, no. Worst Valentine's Day ever.
Ever. Yeah. That's it. I don't know. He told police he choked her, wrestled her to the ground, and sat on her back while he manually went through her cell phone and then placed a call to her boyfriend and then told him that it was his fault. Damn.
So it says stay away from all Deborahs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know one to stay away from.
She was stabbed over 40 times, Evan. God.
That's aggravated.
Yeah, that's what do you call that? Crime of passion right there, boy.
Aggravated manslaughter. That's I don't know what you call that.
Man offers to split winnings after the thieves hit jackpot with his credit card. Of course, a Frenchman has appealed to two thieves who used his stolen credit card to purchase a jackpot-winning scratch-off card to come forward, promising to split $500,000 with them. See,
right.
Only a French one. I'd be like, look, I got you on camera. I'm coming. I'm finding you. I'm getting my $500,000 card, and you're going to jail. I won't press charges if you give me the card or the lotto ticket.
If you got evidence, yeah. Did you see a guy's wanting to... He threw away a Bitcoin fob that's worth $800 million.
What?
And it went to this, not junkyard. With the trash pit, what's it called? The dump.
Yeah.
He's trying to buy the dump.
The landfill.
The complete landfill. He wants to buy it.
Well, I would too.
He's going to find this $800 fob, $800 million fob. Wow. I should have looked that up and sent that to you. I meant to make a note of it.
Well, Evan, we found something in the ocean. Researchers identified a new supergiant crustacean with 14 legs, and they named it after Darth Vader.
Oh, yeah? 14 legs?
Yes. It says, move aside, lobster. A newly described giant isopod from Vietnam is now a seafood delicacy. And it has a cool name to go along with this. And I am going to butcher this. Oh man, I don't even want to try to say it. Here, I'm going to say it and then I'm going to spell it. It's Bathynomus bathyra. Bathynomus. Vaderi.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty close.
I'm sure you were.
So there you
go.
It shares a similar shape with the Star Wars character's iconic helmet. Sweet.
So what's it taste like? Like lobster?
I don't know. I'm trying to kind of scroll.
Sticks.
I don't. Fish sticks. Yeah, it tastes like Gordon's fish sticks.
This is nothing fancy.
Ooh, I got a picture of it, Evan.
A delicacy, my ass.
Hold on.
It's like Gordon's fish sticks.
Give me a second, folks. I want you all to see this. See if you would try it. I'm going to have to move Evan. Move, Evan. Get out the way. These things are freaky looking. They almost look. Yeah, they almost. I don't know if I'd eat that. It almost looks like a cockroach. Like a big ass cockroach. Yeah, I don't know about that, Evan.
Okay, there we go. Oh my. Light color. I was thinking it'd be darker. I don't know why. Wow, that thing is does not look appetizing. But
no, it doesn't.
Could be like all those little 14 crab legs, you know?
Yeah, and I was hoping they were going to be like huge. Like king crab legs.
Yeah, share with your friend size.
Yeah. No, that looks too much like a... I don't know what it looks like, but I think I'm going to hard pass on that one. It looked too much like a bug.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what most seafood is. I mean, it's, shrimp and crab are just insects of the sea.
Man, these dudes out here, ladies, you better watch it, man. These dudes out here are nuts. Georgia man who pleaded guilty to bombing woman's home and plotting python attack on her daughter gets 20 years in jail.
A python attack, dang. You're going to plan a python attack?
Yeah. Glosser 37 and his co-defendant Kinsey were charged March 2024, accused of building an explosive to blow up the victim's house in Georgia. 2 people inside the house at the time survived, so they actually bombed the house, dude. And they only got 20 fucking years?
Really?
Dude, come on. They give cocaine dealers longer than that.
That's major attempted murder.
And they blew the shit out of this house.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I would think they'd get more than 20. I agree.
Yeah, no, you tried to kill somebody. That's what you were plotting to do. So let's act like you did that, and we're going to go ahead and send you to jail for life. Because number one, if you're sick in the head that can take somebody's life that quick and blow shit up, nah, you need to stay in jail.
Or plan a python attack. You are messed up.
Man.
you need put away.
Yeah, you need something. And
go directly to jail.
Yeah.
Do not pass go.
Let's check our buddy Dave, see if he's got anything for us tonight. Oh, yeah, this is right up my alley, too. Bozo criminal for today comes from Minnesota, Evan.
Minnesota,
where police were investigating a van that was reportedly stolen and then sold for parts.
happens all the time.
Yes, it does. In the course of the investigation, our bozo, Vanessa Gonzalez, turned up as the leading suspect, even being ID'd by workers at the auto salvage business, where she sold the stolen vehicle. But she was sticking to her story that she had nothing to do with the theft until an officer turned up her diary. Yep, apparently people still keep diaries, Evan. And in that diary, on the date the van was stolen, she had written, "Totally stole a van today."
That's awesome. Not a whole lot to talk about today, but stole a van. Maybe write more tomorrow.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with fucking people, man?
Beautiful.
What
your diary was on your nightstand.
Oh, that is too funny, man.
That's a good one. I've never heard anyone busted by a diary entry, but that's a good one.
Well, I think that is the first on the AlfromDtown&Chili442 Show. So there you go. There's your weird and wacky news from around the world. It sure has been a wacky. I wanted to go through a few of these, Evan. These are 29 interesting history facts that were scrubbed from our record books.
That happens, I think, more than we really can even think.
Oh, yeah. Mounties were created to fend off dumb Americans.
Okay.
Yeah. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police were created in part as a response to the shenanigans of Americans trading illegal whiskey. Them damn Americans and their shenanigans.
Prohibition era, probably.
Yep. Beethoven used exactly 60 beans in his cup of coffee. This was so important to him, he would often count every bean when he made coffee.
Wow, he was major OCD.
Man.
That's, you say Mozart?
Beethoven.
Oh, Beethoven. Yeah, some of these composers were they were different. They were next level for back then, you know.
Evan, the Great Wall of China is partially made of rice.
Of course it is.
The builders added sticky rice to the mortar, which made the wall more stable and helped protect it against earthquakes and exposure to the elements.
Well, interesting. That's a lot of rice. That wall's pretty damn long.
Madame Tussaud, whatever, made death masks for people executed in the French Revolution.
Death masks?
The death masks were made using heads cut by the guillotine, and to make things much worse, they were often her friends.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
That's pretty sick.
Ancient Egyptians revered. What a nerd. Revered bear. Oh my God. Me too, Egyptians. Me too. They drank it daily and at religious rituals
Very, very common.
and gave it a divine status.
I think back in the day, everybody was just half lit all the time. I mean, beer, like your monks, the monasteries made beer. Everybody drank alcohol all the time to just keep bacteria and germs, down. I
Here,
think probably a lot of kids drink, beer and dinners and stuff.
here you go, Evan. Even laborers, including those who built the pyramids, got a ration of over 10 pints of beer a day.
See?
No wonder why they. Hey, I'm going to work tomorrow. I'm saying I need 10 beers a day. And they're going to be like, why? And I'm just going to hold a picture of the pyramids.
You want this kind of level work? Yeah, like I said, it was like to keep germs down and everything. But I think the people back then were just people went around their life probably half lit most of the time, 10 pints a day while you're working, pretty cool.
In the U.S., 70% of code breakers were women. 11,000 women were in the Army and Navy as code breakers in 1944. They intercepted 30,000 water-transmitted messages a month.
Wow.
Enabling the Navy to sink almost every transport ship to the South Pacific.
Interesting.
Way to go, ladies.
Yeah. Good job.
Some of these are stupid.
We don't think of all the women that go to work and through the war and everything, but through our wars. But there's a ton of them. It wasn't just the men that went away.
Listen to this. Germany lost World War II partly because Hitler slept in late. His underlings were told not to wake him up no matter what, and he slept until 11 or noon on D-Day. And even after he got up, he was sure that the D-Day assault was just a diversion, so he didn't send any reinforcements.
He said, don't wake him up.
He was, if you watch some of those old videos of Hitler, that dude was high on, like, they had him on speed or something.
Really?
Yeah, you watch him. There's one part where he was at the Olympics that year, and he's just fucking rocking like a crackhead, just going back and forth, and oh, it's crazy as hell. I seen it on like a meme or something. In Australia, there's a fire that started burning before the pyramids were built. A coal seam under the surface of Mount Wengen began smoldering 6,000 years ago and hasn't stopped.
Really?
It's the world's oldest continuous coal fire.
Well, that's cool.
See, why shouldn't we pull coal out of the ground?
Yeah, if it's just going to burn.
Yeah, if it's just going to burn us up, shouldn't we be pulling all that shit, all that oil and bullshit that can...
Coal starts fire so easy. Just when they, like the walls where they mine at the open mines, where like the diggers scrape the wall, it will just, that friction, it will start smoking and burning. It's pretty wild. You see videos, all the mining trucks or pictures of mining trucks with this, going down the road and their coals burning out the top of them. That's really common.
France still used the guillotine in 1977.
1977?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought that was something from like medieval days.
I think they still did it.
Wow.
American Nazis paraded in the streets of New York in 1939. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
New York, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably reason that was scrubbed.
Hey, I saw Roberta Flack died today.
That's true.
She had one of my favorite songs, Killing Me Softly.
Mm-hmm.
I love that
It's classic.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Roberta.
We've only been cultivating blueberries for 100 years.
Huh. It's interesting to think some of the shit that's been around for such a short period of time.
In 1911, botanist, there we go, Frank Colville, figured out that blueberries need highly acidic soil, which made it possible to start cultivating them.
Okay.
In the
Illinois soil's pretty acidic.
Yeah. In the 1970s, as part of the Apollo program, NASA was going to build a moon base for 6 people.
Mm-hmm. But we never went.
I didn't say that.
I did.
When Lennon spoke English, he had an Irish accent.
Huh. Okay, guess that's how he learned or where he learned.
Canada is technically called the Dominion of Canada.
I've never heard that.
I think I remember that like on the early school.
Mm-hmm. Dominion, huh?
Yeah. Canada took in 120,000 war refugees during the Vietnam War.
120,000?
Yeah.
That's not a lot of. But okay.
Well, that's what it said, Evan. Maple syrup has a long history in Canada. Well, no shit. That's the only thing they're famous for. Them.
I have a long history of buying maple syrup from Canada. No shit.
There's a region in Canada with slight less gravity.
That's explain.
It doesn't. It says it's a phenomenon. Attributed to a dent in the earth left by a massive ice sheet 21,000 years ago.
Okay, so it's lower altitude.
You weigh, like if you, on either side of this crack, like you can take a scale on one side, weigh yourself, go to the other side, and you'll weigh an ounce less.
That's cool.
Man, this must be a Canada was a training hub for World War II pilots. There you go.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't either. Evan, how do you feel about famous pets?
Famous pets?
If you were going to guess the most famous pet in the world, give me 2 of them.
I don't know. White House dog?
No, I'm not. I'm saying like, like pets that you know their name.
Oh.
Like, I mean, from seeing them on TV and shit like that. I shouldn't have gave you that hint.
Yeah, well, I don't watch TV shows. I don't know what's popular animals on TV or any shows. I don't know. Frasier, they used to have that dog. I can't remember what his name was. No, most famous pets. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll give you number 5 is Coco the gorilla who mastered sign language.
Oh, okay.
So you remember Coco the gorilla? She's kind of badass.
Yeah.
Number 4, Sea Biscuit.
Oh, yeah.
The underdog racehorse who defied the odds. Number 3, Rin Tin Tin. Come on, Evan. And number
Okay.
1, I can't believe you didn't get number 1. The I'm not even going to try to say this fucking word, but it's Phil the groundhog.
It's nobody's pet.
He's nobody's pet.
This is just, okay, famous animals.
Yeah. The 10 most famous animals of all time. But the first 5 were dumb.
We got Lassie on here.
Lassie is number 1, Evan.
Okay. I'm getting you now.
Okay. You getting what I'm putting down?
Yeah, finally.
Okay. Number 1 is Hachita. The dog that never left.
Okay.
Number 9 was Balto, the heroic sled dog who saved a town. He was a Siberian Husky who became a hero in 1925, Evan, when he led a team of sled dogs through a treacherous Alaskan blizzard to deliver life-saving medicine.
Wow. Way to go, Balto.
Number 8 on the list is an ad. Number 8 looks like my dog Tanner. His name's Laika, and it's the first animal to orbit the Earth.
Really?
He was a stray dog from the streets of Moscow who was picked up by one of the astronauts, and he was one of the first pioneers of space exploration in 1957.
It's got to be a trip for a dog.
He went twice.
Really? Orbited the Earth, huh?
Hell yeah, that's cool as hell.
Yeah. I mean, what dog's going to make that claim, you know?
Number 7 is shit. The war horse of Alexander the Great. It's here we go.
Surprised I didn't get that one either.
Do you know it?
No.
It's Bucephalus. That's not even a motherfucking word. Bucephalus.
All right.
Bucephalus. Bucephalus. I think I got it. Marjan, the lion who survived 2 wars. Oh, wow.
Never heard of him either.
In the Taliban regime. And he fought, he didn't fight, but he endured decades of conflict, including the Soviet invasion, civil wars, and the Taliban regime. Damn. One of his most tragic moments came when a soldier threw a grenade into his enclosure, leaving him badly injured. Despite losing an eye and suffering deep wounds, he continued to live for years, becoming a symbol of Afghanistan's endurance.
Wow. Poor dog.
It's a lion, Evan.
Oh, sorry. Poor lion.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There. And then we went to Coco, the sign language gorilla. And what time we got? We got I got a few
10
more.
minutes.
Here are 11 completely useless things we were taught in school, Evan.
They narrowed it down to 11.
Yeah. Number 1, the recorder.
Well, kids need to know how to play this goofy instrument. Yeah.
I have not busted out a recorder since like 2nd grade. Number 2, cursive writing.
Oh,
I know. I still enjoy cursive writing.
I hate to see that go away.
I do too. The Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, that's gone pretty much.
Yeah. The food pyramid.
Yeah, it's a joke.
The square dancing unit in gym class.
I remember that, like 3rd or 4th grade in the winter when you can't do anything. We do square dancing, and I thought it was actually kind of fun. It's silly, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Sentencing diagramming. That sucked. Where you had to write the sentence out and put the subject, the verb.
Okay. Yeah.
These are 11 completely useless things we were taught in school. Roman numerals.
Yeah, it's not used too much.
At all.
You're trying to figure out how old some building is or something.
Yeah.
You know?
What's that X mean?
That's 10, right?
Yeah. And B is 5. Just remember that, folks, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Balancing chemical equations.
Well, if you're a chemist, but yeah.
And learning to use a checkbook. We were never taught that shit in school.
We had consumer ed. I took that as a senior, and it taught how to do a checkbook ledger and stuff like that. And I'm kind of sad that consumer ed is only one semester, like your senior year, because we look at what we're teaching. Yeah, balancing chemical equations and some of the dumb calculus stuff that people never use, but they don't teach you how to buy a house, how to invest, how to understand and percentages of interest and things like that. We need more of that. We need stuff like life skills shit. Sorry, that's my little rant.
No, you're absolutely right. Number 11, how to dissect an animal.
I remember doing dissecting the frog in junior high. That was great fun.
Man, I tell you what, you should know how to clean animals, though. I mean, if shit goes sideways, the first thing you're going to realize is there's no going to Walmart and getting shit.
You need to understand basic anatomy in general. I mean, you can't dissect humans to figure out how it all works, but you need to understand what's going on in a body.
Yeah, I think so. So there you go.
I can still smell those formaldehyde-soaked frogs that we had to cut apart.
Oh, man.
Good golly. Ugh. What a smell. Stick with you forever.
Evan, we pick on ourselves a lot, the Gen Xers. And, we've done a few lists of things we need to quit doing. Well, here are 15 skills Gen Zs won't bother learning, and it's hurting society. We're going to run through these real quick. And the first one I'm going to agree with, reading a map.
Oh, yeah, that's something that it's not taught. Most kids never see maps anymore.
No.
I go and buy an atlas every couple of years. I used to for like road trips and stuff. Just to, if your GPS fails or you don't have it, you need to know where you're going and what's going on. Yeah, that's very true.
I like how they put this. They said mental math. with calculators on every smartphone doing the math in your head is becoming a lost skill.
Very true. And man, and then they throw some Common Core in there that really, in a way, if you look at some of Common Core, it makes sense. It's how to do math on the speed. My dad used to do that. My dad was fantastic with numbers, how he could just calculate. And I'm like, how could you do this fast? And he's like, well, if you're doing 13 times this, we'll think what 15 times this would be. And then I back this. And he did Common Core stuff in his head, but he had such math skills. But nowadays they're teaching Common Core from the start, and kids aren't developing the basic math skills first. You know?
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
It did. It made a lot of sense.
Okay.
I like this one. Cooking from scratch. Fast food, meal kits, and delivery apps have made home cooking feel optional, but knowing how to cook from scratch is a life skill that shouldn't be ignored. Prepping meals from basic ingredients not only saves money, but also ensures healthier eating habits.
True.
Anytime you buy like a pre-made meal or something, I look, and I'm not preaching to anybody because I eat that garbage too, but we really shouldn't.
Oh, yeah. Was I reading recently about some kind of mix that they've been making forever, but women in the beginning didn't buy it because it just said add water, and women didn't think they were cooking enough, so it said they added to the ingredient, add 1 egg, which really does nothing for the whole recipe.
Right.
But it made women think that they were actually doing some cooking. and so their sales went up, and I'm like, that's bizarre.
Basic home repairs. Yeah.
Yes.
And especially now with YouTube. YouTube is like a godsend.
I love it.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I use it at the shop every once in a while.
You think you're the first mechanic?
No. But, and I'm going to tell you what I use it on. All these damn oil reset lights are different. Every freaking one is different. One of them you hold this side. One of them you hold this side. I'm starting to get them all, but
that's one thing that should be standardized. And another thing that I think absolutely is I think almost from a not safety, but sometimes you need to get the hood popped of a car. Maybe there's a fire or whatever. The opening a hood on every car, finding the little secondary latch. Your finger go down? Do your finger go up? Does it go to the left? Does it go to the right? Do you reach through the grill and find this? Every vehicle is different. Trying to pop the hood on a vehicle sometimes, if you can't see up in there, you're just feeling around forever until you find some trip lever.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. I can't imagine that working at like a speed lube, one of those places. After a while you get them all down, but it's just dumb. They should be standardized.
Next, handwriting a letter.
That never happens anymore.
No. Next, writing a check. Public speaking.
I'm still writing checks from the old address from 6 years ago. I've still got a couple books, and that's how much we write checks. It's like, I really should get some updated checks. I did move 6 years ago.
Telling time on an analog clock.
Oh, there's a lot of kids that can't.
No. This is 15 skills Gen Zs won't bother learning, and it's hurting society. I don't know how that's...
I've seen some shows where they ask some kids, what times, and they can't tell on old. That blows me away. That was something you learned in 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh, well, used to. Now you're...
What are they doing in schools these days?
Fucking all this gender bullshit. Sewing and mending clothes.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I remember making a shirt in like...
home ec.
Yeah, at Roosevelt Middle School.
Made a pillow.
Yeah, that's what I made, a pillow. But I think I made a shirt too.
Remember, we bought a little kit and you had to sew the pieces together and stuff it in
Yeah.
home ec class. And yeah, junior high home ec
Yeah. Made sugar cookies and shit. That was awesome, man.
and pancakes. Yep.
Never had no syrup though. Repairing a car.
Yeah, that's something that most people can't change a tire these days.
Oh my God, making a phone call to call someone might seem simple, but for many in the Gen Z, it's a nerve wracking experience.
Yeah, I guess.
Growing up with texting and social media means fewer young people feel comfortable having a direct conversation. Damn.
It's very true. People text, they don't converse anymore, and it's kids aren't learning the interpersonal skills,
I
people
hate that
skills.
too. I do. I'd much rather talk to somebody than just sit there and text you all day. Straight up.
Hmm.
Cuz look, I can have everything I have to say to you done in about a half hour. More than likely it's going to be less. But if we're texting what I got to tell you, then it's going just back and forth.
Yeah, it's convenient, but we get to the point where it's like, don't ever talk on the phone. And yeah, I called you like last week, and I was like, that's strange.
I know.
And I never like up and call you. I never up and call anybody. You know.
Using a manual can opener.
Yeah. I watched some videos where they give kids those and they don't have any idea what it is. It's
So,
sad. I hate that making fun of kids or, oh, you don't know how to use this. Like give an old person a crank, say, here, go crank start this Model T. You know, that's the level we're at, you know.
well,
You're making fun of somebody who's never seen an item. It's not fair to them.
I don't know if I'm making fun of them as much because look, we can sit there and we can make fun of Gen Z all the motherfuck we want. We raised them.
I agree.
We raised them.
Hmm.
So all this shit, when people sit there and they, oh, today's society, blah blah blah, motherfucker, you had a part in that, you
Yeah.
know, and you could have done different. You know, if your kid's lazy, if your kid doesn't have the skills to make it in life, that's your fault. You
It's to me, we grew up so free range in a way. We had such freedom to go and then we turned around and we turned into such helicopter parents for our kids.
right. Be,
Coddled them and took care of everything and did and I don't the whole every kid gets a trophy thing. Well, those kids they didn't come up with that idea on their own.
no.
It had to be us. And I feel bad that what we've turned around and done, there's you go to like TikTok and stuff, and some of these Gen Xers, they verbally jerk themselves off like you wouldn't believe. Oh, we did this, and we could survive on a week on a pack of crackers and a Dr. Pepper, and just how great they were. And I'm like, look at what you turned around. Look at what you're raised.
Yeah.
You're raising what happened there.
They didn't realize that our parents maybe watched us struggle and would let us struggle so far and then come in and help. Now they don't do that. Now it's just, oh no, you're having an issue. I'm going to take care of that. And
Some parents are so misdirected. Yeah.
yeah.
I hate. So, like we said, I hate to see the kids get blamed because
It's
not their
not the
fault.
kids. It's not. I hate to say it, but it's us.
Hmm.
This is on us, and whether you like it or not, you can't blame. You can't blame the younger generation, and so many generations have. Oh, this younger generation. Well, that's your fault.
Yeah. I'm glad you're saying all this because I've always had to keep my mouth shut because I don't have kids, and it's one of those things. Well, until you've had kids and raised a bunch, keep your mouth shut. So I've always kept my mouth shut. But it's interesting to hear you
No,
have a similar thought.
look, man, and I help my kids. I do. Eh, but I mean, they've also, they do the shit on their own too. So, you know,
Mhm.
and I needed help. Everybody needs help. So,
Sure. Yeah,
but
everybody needs guidance, but
I think where we went wrong, and I think I was a little guilty of it too. Um, we became friends with our kids.
I see that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's my best friend. No, that's not supposed to be your best friend. That's your
Hmm.
kid. You put foot in ass when needed,
Yeah.
you know. But
You're
like
there
I
to
said,
mentor them,
we're
not to be your hangout person.
right.
Well, dude, we've gone a little long.
Oh shit, we have. Anyway, yeah. Great show tonight, Evan. Thank you all for Evan, tell them bye.
All right. Well, thanks for everyone sticking with us. It's funny how we get into some interesting conversations at the end,
I know.
and and I like to see it just because we try to stay away from politics so much, but you can talk about things going on without being right or left,
Yeah.
and so I don't know. I enjoy these little bits sometimes where we kind of dive into things that we can't entertain people 100% of the time. We're not stand-up comedians,
No,
but
no.
we can talk about something thought-provoking, and I enjoy doing it from time to time. So
No.
anyway,
Yeah, yeah, and I think I I'm 100% with Evan, and if even if we, I think a main reason we don't talk politics is because it doesn't fucking matter what we say. I can say one thing one day and say the complete opposite thing the next day, and I'm gonna have thing equal amount of hate on both sides. So that's kind of why we just stay away from politics. We don't talk about what the fuck's going on in the world except stupid news and shit like that. And then we
yeah,
dive into shit like that, every once in a while and have some
yeah.
fun with it.
Well, so much that you get into politics, it just becomes a rant, and it's something that you and I and everyone else, we really are powerless to do
Yeah.
anything about. We could say, "Oh, we need to vote harder." We
Vote harder.
well, you're still voting for the same clowns. What are your options? We're stuck to, most of the time.
Yeah.
We can't protest anymore, and if we do, it's still ineffective. So, is it worth raising your blood pressure, every day for it? So I try to avoid it. I need low stress in my life as I heal.
Man.
So
Life sucks as it is, man. Don't make it suck worse.
but you need to know what's going on and be aware of what's happening in the world. It really sucks. You want to tune out, but you need to know what's going on for your best
Yeah,
interest.
right, right.
It sucks. But anyway, we've gone too long.
Yeah.
People, hour and 10 minutes. If you stuck around this long, thank you very much. We appreciate you. You know that. Man, have a good week. It's kind of warming up.
Yeah, no
And
kidding.
and be good to one another, right?
Yeah, guys, be very good to one another. We love you. Peace. We'll catch you for show 153 next week right here on the Alfrom D Town. That's my homie Chili442, and we'll catch you next week.
Later.